Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be finishing the Build King aka Landfill set of reviews. We are going to be taking a look at the combination model now. Now I'll say in preface that combination I really enjoy. It is very unique from like all the rest of the combiners. So we're first actually going to start off with heavy load and high tower here, because they are, like I said in the reviews, pretty identical in terms of engineering. So first thing we're going to do, shout preference, we're going to be taking a look at two modes out of the three, because two of the modes are pretty much identical and they involve these two anyways, becoming arms. So first we're going to take a look at the basic combination, where these guys become legs, and then Grimlock here becomes the arms, and Wedge just, he has a head. So yeah, first thing we're gonna do is take off their accessories, like so. Keep on the main cockpit part for high tower though. Now we're just gonna take their feet, flip them up like so that you get a nice flat base. Standing them up, and then you can rotate or swirl out these wheels right here so that they become nice big toes and heels. Do the same thing for high tower. Fold down like that, and now we can take this section and we're gonna unpeg it and they're gonna fold it out. It's on like a nice sturdy hinge, so I have no problem with that thing standing. So yeah, these are going to be the combiner ports. What we're going to do is rotate such that you can see the cavity. See more in high tower. This is like a little notch here, and we want that facing forward. And so I'm just going to rotate these down, and this little peg here is gonna slot into this hole. You just gotta slide it in like so, and that actually holds together really nice. It's pretty flexible. The inside of this has like this kind of spring loaded bit, so it helps maneuver it, so it gets a little loose, especially throughout my play here, but because when I first got the figure, it used to be really tight, but it's loosened over time. But I don't think it's gonna be breaking anytime soon. Just be gentle with it and it should be perfectly fine. So now we have legs, big old chunky legs. Out the side, and I'm gonna take Grimlock here. Again, take off his accessory. We're all gonna do that later. And you can tell that he was built just to become the main portion of the arms, really, because all the little features works well in his case. So first thing we're gonna do is take the cab portion and rotate it like we're gonna be doing it to robot mode, except now we're gonna split again the tread bases, and it's a little weird, so unpeg the combiner port for now. Now we're gonna take what would be like the hip pelvis area, and we're gonna rotate it such that you can see that the screws are facing forward, and kind of the steeper angle bits are facing downward, so like that. Now we're going to take the combiner port, peg it back into place, and then just take the little end section and rotate that down, like that. Now we're going to spin around the treads, like that. Just kind of keep them straight for now. Next, we're going to open up these flaps like we're transforming it, rotate up the head, and split this whole section, and then rotate the head back into place along with the flaps. And what I like to do is take the cab section and kind of rotate it upward along with his other arm, like that. Just to kind of give it a little bit out of the way, a little more movement. So now we can kind of situate everything, make sure those are kind of up, extend the arms, fold these green sections out, extend the arms, split the treads, stab little claw boys, and here we have the arms. And the arms are going to slot again. This piece slides into the other two, like so. And you can tell that is very unique in its construction. I mean, I've never seen before or after combiner quite like this one. It's very unique, but honestly, I think it works well. So finally, we're gonna take Wedge here. I'm gonna unpeg the treads and everything, rotate these back, and what I like to do is just take the very base hinge, so the base hinge, and fold it out like so. So that kind of gives like a nice angled V shape. Rotate around his gun area like that, and that'll be the cod piece. And now take the back, and this section that I had flipped out earlier to get a waist rotation, I'm gonna flip that out because that is his little combiner nub. And so now we're gonna take this piece, Wedge as a whole, and as you can see that the cavities made this little kind of circle with like these peg holes kind of hanging out. That is where the section, that whole section is not focusing. Oh, but you get the idea. That is gonna be rotated into here, and you're gonna have to do it at an angle like that just to get the pegs all lined up like so. So that slides in, you can rotate it to lock, and then on grid block you see that there's this peg right up here. There's a hole on the back panel over his normal robot head would be. So once you slide that in, you can peg it to lock that all into place, and it's actually pretty sturdy for just like one peg, so that's really nice. Well, sturdy-ish if I actually get it in. So now we can open up this panel and then flip up the big head. If I get myself readjusted, I have a really small desk here, so it's a challenge trying to get larger figures up and around. So here, the main body of Build King, aka Landfill, and now we can start putting on the accessories. So what I do is kind of just get up the claw, and then this peg, there's a hole. You can see a peg hole on the back of Grimlock's head. We're just gonna peg that in so we can get the nice scorpion tail. And then we can take heavy loads, a little claw bit, and you can peg the back side of the tread. And then finally, you take Hightower's crane hook, and you could probably already tell, but there's a hinge here, hinge here, hinge here. So what we gotta do is take the base, flip it all the way out, and it's a big fetching gun right in there. So if you want a take mode for Hightower, just flip this out and boom, there you go. So that can peg right into the claw, like so. Get them all readjusted. And here we have Landfill, aka Build King, aka big old primary color looking buddy, all complete. And he's a weird one, but I love him. I mean, he is definitely not like other combiners. I mean, it's like, it's got the trifecta of 3 in the middle, or around, and then the middle just centers kind of stays put. And yeah, looks wise, I actually really enjoy him. He really does look like he's just built out of construction vehicles, you know. Get a good 360 if I can. He's a little wide in the back just because how Grimlock and all the rest will combine. It kind of just gives him a bigger backpack and kind of a thin kind of hips right here. But other than that, he actually stands really well. Oh, gun got caught. And that's because of the massive feet that he has due to heavy load and high tower. I mean, those things are big. Those heels are nice and large. Just the surface area, he is not falling over anytime soon, which is really nice to see. So yeah, I mean, I think he looks really cool. Head sculpt's very nice. If it will focus, I don't know, but head sculpt's really nice. Kind of bland. I wish he had like more of an expression, but it is what it is. It's not that too big of a deal. So, but yeah, posability wise, he's actually pretty posable, like for his size and how he constructs. So, swivel at the head. Kind of have these panels to kind of shift the arm up and down. He has a ball joint, which ball joints can get a little loose, and probably the main reason that the elbow's loose is probably because of the big freaking cannon, but whatever. So yeah, ball joint, ball joint. You have like the opening and closing claws. No waist articulation. Ooh. No waist articulation for obvious reasons, but you do have a hinge. Can't really move forward. Ooh, copies, come on. Can't really move forward with it other than this bend, which kind of works, but you can move out relatively good. You have a swivel, there's a bend here, and that's pretty much it. But for how it's built, I actually didn't expect that much. I mean, I don't really pose him. All I really do is he just stands on the shelf like this, looking awesome, looking menacing. Well, menacing. So yeah, I mean, that's the base format. Now we can be a little weird, and we could take a look at the other form. So I'm just gonna get these deconstructed right now. Here we have all of these guys back again into their vehicle mode. All of them basically deconstructed again. So all of the accessories except for High Tower, he's gonna become the arms now. So we're gonna leave that all in together. Of course, Wedge just kind of still here. So pretty much the legs are pretty much the same. Well, they are the same, except for Grimlock's now gonna be one of them. So rotate like that, average time, nothing different here. Grimlock, we're gonna unpeg his combiner port, which for some reason is on a ball joint for him. I don't understand why they have it on a ball joint for just Grimlock, but whatever, I guess. So I'm gonna fold it out like that. So that's his leg, basically. That's his confirmed leg. What I like to do is also fold out these panels like so, and then make sure that these bits are also folding down so that you can kind of get them to touch the ground just for a little more stability. So there's Grimlock and his leg. Then combine them up like that. Everything situated. now we can work on high tower for the arms. So first thing we're gonna do, rip all of this off. So we're just left with his base body here. Next, we're gonna do it like we're transforming him into robot mode. So just extend the feet like that. You're gonna take the arm, shoulder assemblies, fold them out, and then fold them back like so. Next, we're gonna keep all this extended and actually straighten out. So sure it looks like that. And then we're gonna split the whole pelvis like so, making this all the way straight, so it makes a nice line across from end to end. And then fold down this combiner port, making sure it fits. And then you also can extend his feet so they become big, wide claws, like so. There is the arm mode right here, and then again we're gonna just fit it right into there. And now we can take his cockpit cab assembly. Can rotate out big gun. Actually, I like to remove it from here and then rotate it so that I can get the gun to bend in the 90 like that. And peg hole is gonna peg it into the furthest most hole right here. And this, it's basically done. I'm not gonna worry about that thigh, because that ball joint, you're not gonna pose it anyways. So now we're gonna take Wedge here, and you can see that there's no peg hole or peg like normal. Instead we're gonna be using these two holes right here, and they have these two peg holes on Wedge. So second first, same as the first, rotate, peg, which these ones are a lot more difficult to try to get in. There we are. And then take out the head. Boom. Now we can give him the accessories. So excavator, again, gonna flip that out. And then we can peg it into the bottom with this peg hole, like so. Gonna give him that big claw, I guess. And then this is a little different. So what we can do with this, because it's not gonna fit inside the normal hands, is rotate out the heel or the foot all the way. And then this has this little peg hole right here that can peg into this hole, like so. I don't think it matters. Well, it might matter where it goes. So have it that way, or you can have it this way for the claw. And yeah, here we have the second and also third combination. Heavy load's basically the same. I mean, I like it. I don't like it as much as the base because Grimlock just does not make a good foot. I mean, it's a ball joint at the very base here. There's no heel nor foot like Heavy Load and High Tower. So I personally don't use this mode much. I kind of just leave it inside where Grimlock is the arms and then High Tower and Heavy Load as the legs. But here it is. If you want to see it, if you want to use it, go right ahead. So yeah, that is pretty much Landfill, or aka Build King, in all their combined modes. And honestly, I love this set. So if you can find this whole set for probably like 100 under. I absolutely recommend it. I mean, I found it in my local toy store. Which actually, speaking of which, I forgot that I would tell you guys that. The box. So I got him, not new in box, but he came with the box for about like, I think it was about $110. So if you can find it without the box, less than that, absolutely recommend the set. I love it. And the box here, I mean, Japan knows how to make good packaging. Honestly, like that is, I would buy that in a heartbeat if I saw that at a toy store. So, of this set, like so. I mean, it just looks cool. I miss like unique Japanese packaging like that. But yeah, that has been the look at Bill King and all his components. As always, I am Zillion Frogs. I ask you to subscribe to the channel for more Transformer reviews, and I'll see you guys next time.